DreamWorks, DreamWorks, DreamWorks. What is it about 2017 and DreamWorks making horrible movies? Alright, so when I saw the trailer for Captain Underpants, I was like, hey, I remember liking those comic books as a kid. This movie could be somewhat interesting. I thought wrong. So, Captain Underpants stars two little boys named George and Harold. And basically, they love to create comic books, but their principal keeps pooping on the party. So, what they do is they hypnotize them and they make them do whatever they want. And they actually turn them into the hero they create, Captain Underpants. So, while all this is going on, an evil villain named Professor Poopy Pants, yep, you heard that right, he tries to hatch a plan to completely devoid the world of children's laughter. So, that's our movie. Starting off with the good, the very little good, it's DreamWorks, so that means it has awesome animation. One of the things I was careful to notice was how well I realize I am an adult now going into a children's movie about a children's comic book that I enjoyed as a child, but even so, I was careful to notice how well they adapted the style, the humor, and such on screen. And the only pro I can think of at the moment is that it looks great. The animation is very lively, it's very colorful, and when I saw the movie, I was like, yep, that is Captain Underpants visually, aesthetically. That is the comic Captain Underpants I did grow up with. Now, starting off with the bad. What didn't work with this movie? Everything else, literally everything else besides the animation did not work with this movie for me. First of all, the casting. So it stars Thomas Middleditch, Kevin Hart, Nick Kroll, and Ed Helms. So these are some big names in comedy that just don't work in this movie. Can we please stop Kevin Hart specifically? Can we ban him from making kids movies? Because, oh my gosh, his voice does not fit on an 8-year-old kid. It just doesn't. Kind of like Zac Efron when he voiced the kid from the Lorax. And just like Kevin Hart again when he voiced like that little bunny in that animated movie Secret Life of Pets or whatever. You have to be careful casting grown men for little kids and little fluffy adorable things, because when that voice comes out of that little boy, I'm just like, wow, this is just like hindering one of our great comedians working today. And it's just like, you give him nothing funny to say, which is the second thing. I suppose if we're on the point of casting, Ed Helms did do his best. He did sound like a over-the-top superhero from an 8-year-old's comic book. Ed Helms was fine, I guess, as Captain Underpants, and the villains sounded generic like they were supposed to, and the other kid, sounded less like a grown man like Kevin Hart did, but Kevin Hart is the main problem as far as casting. It just was so jarring. As far as the humor, there really was none for me. The humor is so lazy, just poop and fart and horrible timing all over the place. You know, even The Boss Baby. As bad as that movie was, it made me laugh like once. Like, it didn't make me laugh like, The Boss Baby made me chuckle like, this movie is stupid. The Boss Baby made me do that once. This movie, nothing. This was the easiest try not to laugh challenge I have ever done. And it wasn't like I was trying not to laugh, to be clear. The movie was just not funny. Just no creativity, just horrible slapstick to appeal to the 8-year-olds. And I know I'm an adult. So that means the litmus test is to see how the kids reacting around me. The 6 through 8-year-olds around me with their parents, not a peep. I checked 20 minutes in, not a peep. 40 minutes in, an hour in. The kids were not laughing. That's how stupid and unfunny this movie is. The kids were just not laughing. Also, this movie has some of the worst fourth wall breaks I have ever seen. Fourth wall breaks where it doesn't make sense what's going on, where it's just horrible timing, where why would you pause it right there? And fourth wall breaks where it was like they were trying to be smart and cheeky with things with being meta as far as things they were referencing, as far as like pointing out how this movie connects to real world issues, such as how it's good to sort of lighten up sometimes and laugh at yourself, how teachers are underpaid and how the school system is failing, stuff like that, where it was like they were trying to be clever, and they even obscurely referenced some outdated comic book origins. They had little Easter eggs here and there where I was like, wow, I wasn't looking for that, and you didn't execute. No other movie this year, not even The Boss Baby, made me bang my head on the theater chair. The comfortable leather theater chair. I was constantly banging my head. I just wanted it to end. This is, I believe, the worst movie I've seen thus far of the year. I haven't seen 50 Shades Darker, but Captain Underpants is lazily written, horribly casted, and just not funny. I'm gonna give it 2 stars overall. Alright guys, I am Pac. Thanks so much for hearing my perspective, and I'm out for now.